Hello, good morning to everyone. My name is Javier Hernández. I work for Iberdrola, and I also collaborate with the Prime Alliance as part of the promotional committee. And today I'm going to speak about Prime Hybrid. First of all, I am going to introduce the Alliance, but I'm going to do it in a minute because I have the impression that it has already been introduced and most of you might know about it, so we're going to do it fast. The Prime Alliance is an industrial association. It was born from the need of having a reliable telecommunication protocol for AMI solutions. Now, with this idea, a group of companies founded the Prime Alliance back in 2009. Right now, the Alliance has something around 65 members, comprising from utilities to research institutes, chipset manufacturers, meter vendors, integrator, consultants, laboratories. And so we have a quite diverse ecosystem of companies working on making sure that we get open and reliable standards. Okay, so the Prime Alliance itself started as a need for, as I said before, as a need for a telecom protocol for the AMI projects. This evolved with time into different protocols, the ones that we will discuss today. And it evolved with the use cases that were required by the utilities at each point in time. Now, all of these protocols are standardized, they're open, and they're trying to look for interoperability between different vendors, which is something that we always had as a DNA on the Alliance, making sure that interoperability is ensured always. Well, all of these standards, they can be found on our web, and they're completely open and free for everyone to access. Well, the aim of the Alliance is to provide a comprehensive solution to the utilities and our members. Now, in this regard, we do telecommunication protocols, but we do telecommunication protocols with the idea of solving solutions. And as I said before, these solutions started in the shape and the form of advanced metering, but they're not constrained to this. We also have grid connectivity, grid controlled, electrical vehicle, integration of renewables, and many other use cases that we're trying to cover right now. So the strategy of the Alliance is based on 3 pillars. The base was the narrowband solution that we developed many years ago. And right now we're working in these 3 different pillars. The first one is the evolution of the narrowband PLC that we installed back in the day. So we're actually working in complementing this technology with others, in improving it, in making it more secure, in making it more reliable. And at the same time, we have opened different paths of research. One is the broadband PLC, for those cases where we need extra bandwidth, and the deployment of Germany could be a very good example of this. And the third one is the integration of PLC with radio frequency. For these places where connectivity might be complicated and we might need an extra aid from different technologies. And this is what we're going to discuss today. So we call this Prime Hybrid, which is obviously I think a quite intuitive name, but I think innovation should focus on the technology and not on the naming. So also I would like to say that hybrid is not a new concept as it is. We're surrounded by hybrid concepts in our days. We see, I don't know, hybrid solutions for power, like renewable solar PV with wind solutions, or we see hybrid vehicles and many other options. So this is not really a new concept. So how can we take these advantages into metering? And when we say metering, we're not talking about electricity meters itself, but we're also including water and gas. And also we try to extend the concept of metering. So far, it has been quite tied to the idea of remote reading, which is true, and it was probably the first use case. But there's more things into it. So we have, as we can see here, alarms and notifications, monitoring, billing services, and a lot of services that you can build on top of the communications with the smart meters. Now, why would you combine 2 technologies? Well, at the end, so far, at least in most of the European countries, everyone has deployed PLC solutions. And PLC is a very reliable solution. Actually, GLOBECOM this year is in Madrid, in Spain, where the whole country has deployed PLC. In the case of my company, Iberdrola, we finished in 2018. And we're getting a very good KPIs and extremely happy with the technology. So we can say it's a very reliable and mature technology. Now, of course, like every technology and everything in life, it has its drawbacks. So sometimes there might be high noise, which might interfere with the communications. You rely on repeaters, which are the meters trying to hop the information from one another. And it has the big drawback in some way that it's difficult to communicate with other meters, such as the water and gas, because for obvious reasons, they cannot have electric connection to them. Now, this holds true also for radio frequency. At the end, you have more or less the same situations. So instead of noise, you have interference, which can be caused by anything like vegetation or traffic. It relies also on multiple hopping in repeaters, and it has some extra high cost with regards to the PLC solution. So at the end, we see that there is no perfect solution, but in some cases, they complement each other very well. And this is where the concept of hybrid PLC comes into place. Now, so what have we done? So we have included a PLC modem and a radio frequency modem into the same meter, and we had to take some architectural decisions. At the end, there's a myriad of options of how to integrate these two communication modules into one single device. But you can basically drill them in a very simplistic way to two. One would be integrating at the application layer, and the other would be integrating at the MAC layer. Integrating at the application layer is easier, but it comes with several drawbacks. And we chose to integrate at the MAC layer because it made more sense. And I think it makes more sense because at the end, you end up having one common network, and you don't really have to include the management of the network at the upper layers. So basically, you abstract the upper layers from the routing decisions. This also increased the throughput and the reliability of the hybrid solution itself. Okay, so here is a brief example of how the hybrid technology would look in a metering solution. So you can see in red, this is the PLC links, and in blue, the radio frequency links. And they're working based on either whether there's one communication or the other. So in the case of the first house connected to the DCU or the gateway, you would see that there's only a PLC connection available. So there's only PLC connection. And in those cases where you have both, you end up choosing the best one. Now, this gives you a lot of reliability because you can dynamically select which of the two mediums is better for communication. But not only that, inside PLC, you have available 8 different channels in the case of the Prime Alliance, where you can choose also which of the PLC channels has a better communication. So you end up having a complete set of options to choose the best path, the less noisy, on the one that provides you the best reliability to capture the data. Now, needless to say, if one of the links fail, like in this case, the PLC link over here, then the second medium, in this case, the radio frequency one, would take over and continue the communication. So in this next slide, this plays very well with the integration with other meters. As you can see in this slide, we added some water and electricity meters to the equation, and they're connected directly with radio frequency. The interesting thing here is that you don't need to necessarily have these meters connected to the logical house. So basically one electricity meter does not need to relay the information from the water and gas meters from that house. The interesting thing is that you can relay the information from any other house. It might just happen that the electricity meter of your neighbor is better suited to relay the information of your gas meter. This could be a use case. And I think this is one of the advantages that this solution brings into the equation. Now, with the Prime Alliance, we have launched this specification, and obviously looking at interoperability, integration, and we have set a complete set of companion standards with the laboratories to make sure that the solution is tested and plug and play when it comes to the final users. Well, and to conclude, because I don't think I have a lot of time today, I would like to say that continuing with the efforts and the aim of the Prime Alliance, all of these protocols that we have defined, and specifically the one that we have been discussed today for the Prime Hybrid, this is an open standard. It can be accessed to our website, and it's open and interoperable and ready to be installed whenever to whoever believes that this is a very good opportunity. And then I remain at your disposal for any questions that you might have, and thank you very much.